The Shanling UP is a portable DAC amp combo. It'll work with anything right out of the box. It's really small and portable and has quite a bit of compelling features, but is it worth purchasing? Let's find out. I'll begin with what you get in the box. I'll then talk about the features of the DAC amp. I will then discuss the sound. After that, I will discuss what I like and don't like about it and finish off with things to consider. Before I start, I just want to say that I am not an audiophile. I don't consider myself an audiophile, but I do understand audio more than the average person. As I mentioned earlier, the Shanling UP is both an amp and a DAC. DAC stands for digital to analog converter. It takes the digital audio in form of ones and zeros and then converts it into an analog output signal. Every phone, tablet, computer that has a 3.5mm connection has one, but they're not all the same. And the amp part, well, it's just a headphone amplifier. With that out of the way, let's start this review. In the box, you get the Shanling UP itself, 4 cables which are used to connect to various devices. The cables include an USB-C to USB-C, an USB-C to micro USB, USB-C to USB Type-A, and USB-C to Lightning to connect to iOS devices. The Lightning cable is MFI certified, which means it'll work right out of the box. Lastly, it has some manuals. Now for the features, the UP works directly off of your device's battery, so as long as your device has juice left, then so will the UP. On one side, the UP has this really nice glossy glass finish with a Shanling logo, and on the rest of the body has this matte black metallic finish. On the side that has a 3.5mm connection, there is a compatibility switch. So if the UP isn't working with your current device, then use the switch, unplug and plug it in again. For example, when I first plugged this into my iPhone, it kept giving me an error and it wouldn't work, but when I switched it worked just fine. On the side opposite of the 3.5mm connection, it has an USB-C connection. When using the UP, I use a variety of devices including several Androids, iPhones, and my laptop. From my testing, I came to the conclusion that it makes a difference on all of them. However, on newer flagship phones, the difference is not as noticeable, but it does make a difference. Where my UP really made a big difference is in my laptop, where the 3.5mm connection seemed to have just been an afterthought. The sound of the UP is quite neutral. I didn't notice much, if any, emphasis to the low or high end. I used it with a variety of headphones from open back to closed back, from 50 ohms to 300 ohms. I even threw in some earbuds into the mix. In all the headphones, the UP made the headphones louder, it brought more color and clarity to instruments. It also opened up the soundstage, which was quite noticeable on closed back headphones. In open back headphones, it still opened up the soundstage just a bit more, but it wasn't quite as noticeable compared to closed back headphones. Closed back headphones like the Audio-Technica M50Xs work really well with the UP. It is able to drive them quite nicely and they work with any genre of music. In open back headphones like the Sennheiser HD598, I found them to work well with classical music, rock, and even some modern pop, but in genres where it could use some bass like EDM and rap, it left something to be desired. It still drives the headphones really nicely though. With something like the 300 ohm HD6XX, the UP still drives them, but it doesn't get as loud. With that being said, it still gets uncomfortably loud. With earbuds like the Hi-Fi Man RE00, the UP really surprised me. It was able to bring an amount of clarity and detail which I wasn't even aware that earbuds could bring. I found it fun to just unplug the UP and plug the earbuds directly to my phone and then plug the UP again just to hear the difference, which was quite noticeable. To sum up, I think the UP works great with earbuds and anything at or below 150 ohms. Pair the UP with the M50Xs or even the 598s and you got a great on-the-go audio. Now for what I like about the UP. And what I like the most is the portability. It can easily fit into the palm of your hand, and unlike something like the FIO E17K, you don't have to wrap it with your phone. You can easily have this in your pocket and not notice it's there. It's also quite a powerful device for the size. Also, the included cables means that it'll work with just about anything. You'll also be future proof. For example, if you currently don't own a USB Type-C phone, then you know you'll be covered. The MFI certified Lightning cable means that you don't have to do any kind of workaround to make it work properly. Lastly, the build quality looks and feels very premium. Now for what wasn't so well with the UP. My biggest complaint and annoyance is the compatibility switch. What in the fuck were they thinking? It's such a fucking annoyance having to constantly. It's impossible to switch it with your bare hands. It was so annoying while testing this because the compatibility is different from a cell phone and my laptop. The only reason I was able to switch is because I carry a SIM ejection tool, but I can say with a high level of certainty that 99% of people don't carry around a SIM ejection tool. I guess if you're going to primarily use the UP with one device, then maybe it's not as big of an issue. Also, I came across an Android phone where the UP didn't work properly. It wasn't an old phone either, but for some reason it wouldn't work. Lastly, I want to talk about things to consider. There are things that are not necessarily good or bad. First is the fact that this works off of your device's battery, so your battery will drain quicker than normal. If you're having battery problems, then this may not be suitable for you. Also, the glossy glass face, which looks really nice and gives it a nice premium feel to it, but is very susceptible to fingerprints and scratching. Anyways, what do you guys think of the Shanling UP? Does it seem like something you could really use? Let me know in the comments. If there's a particular tech product you would like me to review, let me know in the comments. Like the video if you like my review, subscribe for additional tech videos. Adios.